The Boise River is the heart of the Treasure Valley. As the river flows from its origins high in the Sawtooth Mountains, it provides water for all our activities.
It's an artery, it's a lifeblood.
Yeah. Cool.
Swimmers, boaters, and anglers take to the water.
It's the center for so much of our recreation.
On the riverbanks, cyclists, joggers, and hikers follow Boise's renowned greenbelt, a perfect setting for scenic beauty, healthy exercise, and peace of mind.
Having a clean, free-flowing river provides recreational opportunities. It has increased property values in the area. It has tremendous value that it adds to the quality of life in the Boise area.
The Boise River ranks as one of the cleanest rivers in the country, but it hasn't always been that way. Up until the mid-50s, untreated sewage was released into the river, and several meatpacking plants and other industrial users lined the river and dumped waste products into the water. But things soon changed.
I think in the late 60s is when they started to recognize the value of the river and started to change its direction and start to do some things to protect it and really recognize it as a valuable resource.
The major catalyst for change has been the Clean Water Act. Tougher water quality standards have paved the way for a cleaner Boise River. Yet, the valley's increasing population brings new threats. We impact the river as we build roads, drive our cars, or water our lawns. This is called stormwater pollution. Water that doesn't get absorbed into the ground flows across hard surfaces like roofs and pavement and picks up the pollutants. While our individual contributions may be small, they all add up.
Unfortunately, I don't think that the general public understands or realizes, at least a lot of them don't, what happens with that stormwater.
They just think it goes down the drain and then they really don't worry about it, or they think it's maybe something like what goes down your sink drain in your house. It goes to a treatment plant and it's treated before it would be discharged into the river.
Unlike sewage from homes and businesses, stormwater does not go to the wastewater treatment plant. Water flowing into storm drains seeps into the ground or flows into irrigation canals, side canals or pipes, and eventually to the Boise River. Our water supplies in the river are feeling pressure from the growing population and development. More and more natural vegetation in our open spaces is being replaced with rooftops, driveways, parking lots, sidewalks, and roadways. These hard surfaces can create drainage and flooding problems while reducing the amount recharging our groundwater.
I think if people knew more about what happened with stormwater and water that washes off the street and into the storm drain, they might be a little more respectful of the natural resources and be more thoughtful about it.
So how serious of a threat is stormwater runoff? Pollutants in stormwater harm animals and people. Lawn chemicals, metals, automobile oil, and grease in stormwater stress aquatic life. Sediments from construction site runoff can destroy fish habitats, and pet wastes contain harmful bacteria and pose a risk to human health. Pollutants in stormwater can also poison the groundwater residents use for drinking.
The water quality is changing by the minute, and the demand for water is huge. So we have to kind of keep that in mind when we're looking at future water quality issues.
To help reduce these threats, several local agencies have developed the Partners for Clean Water program. The partners develop programs and implement ordinances to protect water quality and manage stormwater. These are called Best Management Practices, or BMPs.
They are the steps we take to keep our sites clean, to keep our businesses clean, to keep our homes clean.
Green building practices provide benefits in several different ways. One is
local developers like Gary Christensen are also getting the message. Recently, Christensen has become familiar with green building practices himself. His Banner Bank building is the only non-governmental building in the world which has been granted the highly distinguished Platinum LEED certification. His building also has a state-of-the-art system which captures and reuses stormwater for flushing toilets. Christensen says developers are now considering new design standards, like reducing the amount of hard surfaces such as rooftops and roads, and allowing for cluster developments, narrower streets, and smaller parking lots.
Usually we're looking at the stormwater that falls on a site as a waste product that we just want to get rid of. We want to make it somebody else's problem. Are there things we can do to make it an asset? Are there ways to incorporate it into the landscape design, planning, irrigation systems for that? Are there ways to save it, to capture it, conserve it, and use it later rather than just pushing it down the storm drain and out to the river?
This is a bioswale.
Don Belts is a landscape architect in the Treasure Valley.
We like to consider the stormwater treatment facilities an asset right from the very beginning so that we can put it into the planning process and work with it. I always think about the habitat that is there, that we can create. Water is essential for so many things.
Like landscape designers who face stormwater questions up front in the design process, construction contractors have challenges once the project is underway. Best management practices for construction sites include dewatering or pumping the water off the site, dust control, protection of existing vegetation, and measures to prevent the tracking of dirt into the streets.
You guys are a great starting point.
Jim Conger has construction projects across the valley. At each job site, his workers follow a stormwater pollution prevention plan.
We do not want silt, debris, and such going into our storm drain systems.
Best management practices for small commercial businesses include keeping trash out of gutters and storm drains, and the proper use and disposal of fertilizers and pesticides. Taking care of their properties is also important. Spill prevention, cleanup programs, and sweeping parking lots and sidewalks are all part of keeping pollutants out of storm drains.
And through education.
The owner of Certified Carpet Cleaners, Jerry Dunn, is a member of the Business Partners for Clean Water program. Dunn has approved access to the sewer system available at his facility to keep the used water needed for cleaning carpets from reaching the river.
My people are able to bring it back here and dump it into our sump, which goes into the sewer system.
Much remains to be done, and it will require participation from everyone, including the public. We can all do our part to keep our community healthy by reducing waste, recycling, and taking fluorescent light bulbs and other hazardous waste to collection sites. People can also help by marking storm drains with the partner's message of dump no waste, drains to the river.
Hi folks, Eddie Trout here in the currents of the Boise River.
The partners send out their message through Eddie Trout. The partner's spokesfish is a helpful reminder to kids and adults that what goes into the street goes into a storm drain and ends up in the groundwater or the Boise River.
So remember, zip, nada, zilch goes into a storm drain except storm water.
With Eddie Trout leading the way, the partner's public education campaign is gaining attention. More and more community volunteers are signing up to mark storm drains, like these junior high students who spent an entire afternoon marking drains and learning about Eddie's message. Because of the Treasure Valley's high rate of growth, we must make decisions faster, plan faster, and with shorter lead time than we've ever had in the past. Clean water is a limited resource. Knowingly and unknowingly, we are poisoning this resource with our growing population. In the community, small businesses like the Metro Car Wash are designing landscape features called swales. This is one type of urban drainage design that enhances the environment, the landscape, and our daily lives.
We had to create swales and areas where that water would collect and then go through a settling process. It's not just a weed patch, but we actually planted particular types of plants and so forth to help treat that water.
And there are limits to how many pollutants the river can take.
Proactive action has to be taken by politicians, planning and zoning commissions to protect the river corridor from overdevelopment.
We must all do our part to protect and enhance the quality of the Boise River. Protecting the river is not a one-time shot, not a one-time program, but a long-term investment for future generations.
It's so important to keep that river in great shape because it's an unbelievable natural resource and it's the lifeline of this valley.
The partners for clean water are the City of Boise, Ada County Highway District, Garden City, Boise State University, Ada County Drainage District 3, and the Idaho Transportation Department District 3. For more clean water tips, visit our website, www.partnersforcleanwater.org. This video is a production of the City of Boise Public Works Department. For more information on our water quality or other environmental quality programs, call 384-3901.